Hi everybody, it's Tom, and I am not here with Alex right now. Unfortunately, Alex is getting... we were recording on the weekend and we couldn't finish it on the weekend, so that made things a little difficult. He's pretty busy during the week, but I didn't want to sit here with this draft just not being completed, so I decided to go ahead without him. So we've got 7 cards here. We are going to keep this because we've got turn 2 Bitter Blossom. Not much else we can do, but that's alright. Sometimes turn 2 Bitter Blossom and a little bit of action afterwards is enough to get a game done. Nice couple of pieces of insurance policy sitting in the hand between Oblivion Stone and Damnation. I probably should have led with Swamp, so if I drew it I could go Swamp Mountain or Swamp Island. Or to make the Izzet Charm available earlier, as well as Kolaghan's Command. There's the Bloodstained Mire. Boy, it's been a little while. I'm trying to remember what fetches were in here. That's the problem with leaving a deck by itself for too long. I feel like we had a... I don't know. I'm gonna fetch and go get it. Pretty sure we had a red-black, red-green... See, here we go. That was foolish of me for not checking that beforehand, but at least now we have the red, if we can get a blue source. And if you hear some loud noises in the background, that's my enormous wolfhound eating his dinner. Wolfhound is 185 pounds. Wolfhounds are the tallest dogs in the world. They're typically not the heaviest, though. A lot of Mastiff breeds tend to be in the 200+ pound range. They're a little bit shorter than wolfhounds, but they are much bulkier. Wolfhounds are sighthounds like greyhounds, so they're actually built fairly skinny. Alright, so we're going to lose our first Bitter Blossom token. That's unfortunate. I feel like we're going to need to Damnation pretty soon here. So that kind of lends me towards not playing Oblivion Stone. I mean, not playing Oblivion Stone, because that will stop our opponents from playing anything more than that. We can play Kolaghan's Command. Deal 2 damage to the Lotus Cobra, make our opponent... We do 2 damage to Garruk, which makes, which prevents Garruk from killing a creature. That's kind of good. And make him discard. Don't have any artifacts. Don't have any creatures in my graveyard. Kind of like that, because that encourages him to put more creatures on the board. We could just wait until he zeroes. He might try to kill the... If he tries to kill the rogue in response, we can Kolaghan's Command. And that will let us kill Garruk out of surprise. We'll see what opponent does here with their mana first. Opposition. Oh, gross. Okay. Okay. Alright. That's really good with Garruk. He might not make a 2/2 wolf token at that point then. Or rather, he might make a 2/2 wolf token instead of minusing. That's unfortunate. I guess if we killed Lotus Cobra, he still would have gotten it because he had the City of Brass on the island. Would have pinged him, but it's not much of a deal. Opponent does nothing, so they're gonna hit us on our upkeep. We're gonna have a really hard time. We'll be able to play the Pilgrim next turn. I'm not sure what we should do now. This is going to be a struggle. Opposition is really not a fun card to play against, although Bitter Blossom, opponent isn't attacking. I have no idea why opponent didn't... Well, yeah, I do. I do know why, because opponent would rather ping down my... tap down my lands next turn. If I ever get a blue source, I can Izzet Charm during that portion of my turn. Oh, I didn't realize that was an automatic thing. I guess I was used to people doing it as a 0. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I'm gonna have a hard time getting this Oblivion Stone down. Oh, it doesn't matter if I tap anything in response right now, so I will just let all these taps happen. Obviously would have been better off in the end playing Oblivion Stone, although there's no way I could have known that at the time. Opponent kept his wolf up. That's interesting. I do get to kill Garruk. He could have. He's probably gonna tap my rogue down with the wolf. And I have an Abrupt Decay up for next turn, and that's all right. Here comes tapping down my fairy rogue, so I can't kill Garruk. Yep. Okay, we'll let that happen. Post combat, we'll create Avacyn's Pilgrim. Opponent is going to +1 to create a black wolf token with Death Touch. So I'll be able to Abrupt Decay something next turn. Could be Garruk to stop him from spitting tokens out. That's pretty good. Could be Cobra, although I have to kind of just hope he doesn't have any other big mana plays to do. Master of Waves. Alright, it's getting 3 tokens. If I can kill Master of Waves, which I cannot do with Abrupt Decay, but I can do with Izzet Charm, the unlikely next turn, I'll get rid of the rest of the elementals. But those elementals are amazingly good in a opposition deck. Ugh. Anything that spits out that many tokens is great in an opposition deck, so I'll float some black mana. Waiting for opponent. I will float some more black mana. Step 1 is get rid of Garruk. Step 2 is figure out a way to get Oblivion Stone down. And that might be drawing a red source this turn, so I can kill Master of Waves. Then step 3 is Oblivion Stone. I figure opponent's going to tap all mine anyway, so I thought, I'll let him tap one of the green sources. Upkeep step. Alright, we will kill. Okay, non. Oh, I forgot that the rules have changed on this. A flip card used to have 0 CMC, now it has the CMC of its front side, which is 4. I guess we can kill Lotus Cobra here. That's about it. That's really bad. Draw an island. Draw an island would be reasonable. I'm surprised he didn't tap our Pilgrim, which he might do now, or might tap one of the fairy rogues. This game would have been a lot easier if I'd cast that Oblivion Stone. So I'm taking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 next turn, basically. If my opponent wants to go all in. It seems unlikely, but... I guess if my opponent goes for it this turn... Oh, no, then we're just dead to the Bitter Blossom. Opponent has us dead if he +1s and uses that new Death Touch creature to tap down my Fairy Rogue to attack for 13, and then I die to Bitter Blossom. So let's see if they've figured that line out. Murderous Geothrak. Well, now I'm dead to a whole lot of other things. So I'm going to F6 here and let my opponent do it. Let them use their clock up. Opposition is not a fun card to play against. Basically says you don't get to play Magic this game. If you're lucky, you have some on-color instants that can actually do something. Well, you have to be pretty bad just to have lots of off-color instants, but So it's not quite a luck thing. But we'll see where opponent goes with this. Opposition is one of the best things you can do in... looks like opponent was going to wait one more turn. We don't have any instants we can cast. So I'm going to auto-yield through the rest of the turn to opposition. I can always hit F3 if it matters somewhere. That seems very unlikely, so I'm just going to have opponent waste more time. You play an opposition deck, you're going to sit... You cannot complain if your opponent forces you to do everything. There you go. Tapped every single one of my permanents, other than Bitter Blossom. Alright, and we're going to have 6. Not even going to play the Sanctum. Don't need to let our opponent know we have blue. That would have been nice last turn. Could have dealt with the Master of Waves. Not that the Elementals would survive after the Verger's Gearhulk anyway, but... But we'll move on to game 2. I doubt there's much we can do to deal with an opposition that's resolved, but Char and Stagger Shock would help deal with Planeswalkers. Duress can get both Planeswalker and opposition. That seems kind of good here. Languish is not unreasonable. There's not a whole lot of point creatures I wanted to kill right there, so I can see ditching some of these. I'm going to have a harder time casting Forbidden Counterspell early. Beast Within is still good. Repeal does not seem that good. Well, I'm gonna have a hard time with that. Duress seems is in. I can see Counterspell and Forbid coming out for Stagger Shock. And Repeal could go back in. Repeal on a token. Yeah, I'd rather kill stuff. Alright, let's try this. Oh, I've got 2 colors and very little to do with them. But I can roast something. Perhaps roast a... Did I see black out of my opponent? Garruk isn't actually black. Opposition, Master of Waves, Garruk, Lotus Cobra. Don't think I saw it, so I'm not sure what they have black for. I'm gonna keep this and hope to get lucky with a white source or a green source in the first few turns. Having my 8-drop in my hand is not great, but everything else is a live card. Fetch and go get that Blood Crypt. I guess I could have gotten red-white, but I think I'm more likely to get a green source naturally. And like this would have been actually much better on the draw. Could have roasted their turn 2 play instead of waiting for them to play it on turn 2 and killing it on our turn 3. Drawing red or a black land would be real nice right now, to use Kolaghan's Command to the best of our ability. But roasting that isn't terrible either. Kind of miss having Alex along, honestly. I forgot, the very first recording I did by myself, and it was hard, but I figured out it was my first recording. So here I am without Alex now. I'm Wishing he was along to provide some excess commentary. He's a funny kid. I'm very proud to be his father. Funny, very smart. A lot of empathy, too. Come on, land. Any land. Any land. Ooh, that's a good land. So the question is now, do I roast it? Do I Abrupt Decay it? Do I cast Managorger Hydra? So opponent could put down opposition next turn. To make my Managorger Hydra a 2/2. Plus on my upkeep I'll be able to kill the Lotus Cobra. So that's not bad. Could just roast the Lotus Cobra. Make him wait a turn. Managorger Hydra is better when you get it down earlier, so I'm going to start with that. Did not see removal from the opponent, other than Garruk, which would work here because Garruk would take 2 damage from the Managorger Hydra. Alright, white. And not blue! Alright, it's not opposition, whatever it is. No, it's not black, whatever else it is. Tireless Tracker. Solid value card. I think we may just roast that right off the bat. Ooh. Ooh, that's really good. So now I could Abrupt Decay and roast and get in for 4. Kind of like that. That land did not help me cast either Anguish or Making a Kolaghan's Command. Actually, no, I cannot Abrupt Decay and roast because I have the one land that produces both black and red. So, since they didn't do anything too terrible with Lotus Cobra, I'm thinking of roasting the Tireless Tracker before it gets out of control. And Abrupt Decay is an instant. We shall do that. And we shall leave up double blue to make opponent think of counter spells. And we shall get in for 3. And we shall see what opponent does on next turn. I'm not going to F6, not right away at least, because that makes it clear that I don't have an answer. So I'll wait until he passes priority. Other than that one, because that's a mana ability. Don't really care about. Tap a land is interesting. Try to get a 2 or 3 mana spell off here, but not during their main phase. Nope. Mana War. Ah, rot. Alright, Mana War is good play against Managorger Hydra. So it's likely I'll just replay the Mana War. I mean, the Managorger Hydra. If I draw a land, I might be able to Abrupt Decay and Managorger Hydra. Opponent's going to tap my black down. So I could Abrupt Decay now, but since I have the play of Managorger Hydra, I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Alright, there's my second black source. So that gives me Kolaghan's Command next turn, or Abrupt Decay, but not both. Not without extra help. Overgrown Tomb coming in untapped, so whatever it is doing doesn't need 6 mana. Opponent probably still taps the 1 red source during upkeep. No, what do we got? It's 5 mana here. Acidic Slime, Whisperwood Elemental. Yeah, it's a good one. I'm going to want to unmaking that if I can. Surprised opponent didn't attack Mana War into Managorger Hydra, because very unlikely I would trade with there. So, fetch line is gone. O-Stone is pretty good. I want to leave up Abrupt Decay, so I need black, green. So I'm going to leave up these two over here, the Hinterland Harbor and the Blood Crypt, because that makes it the least obvious what I'm doing. Unfortunately, the sacrifice effect of Whisperwood Elemental would allow him to manifest 2 creatures if I crack O-Stone too quickly. So I might want to try to deal with Whisperwood before I crack the O-Stone. For example, with an Anguished Unmaking. I could also kill one or both of his other small creatures, so the sacrifice effect doesn't get him some free 2/2s. If I had a ridiculous amount of mana, I could do something like Damnation, and then when he sacks the Whisperwood, sacrifice O-Stone, but that's a lot of wasted value, I think. Got a good hand with a lot of interaction. We definitely want opponent to be casting some spells that hopefully don't do anything to our Mana-Gorger Hydra. Now, if they cast a spell now and then attack Whisperwood Elemental into me, I have the option of Abrupt Decaying something, probably Lotus Cobra, to grow my Mana-Gorger Hydra 1 bigger than the Elemental. That would be a pretty clear mistake from opponent to do something like that, so I might be considering if they're gonna if they were holding up some kind of trick to try to get me to waste it like that. No attack there this time. Another Manifest. So no spells on opponent's turn, so they're likely to Rashad and port down something, and if I were opponent I would port down the Blood Crypt, as it's my only red source, and I have doubles of everything else. If he does that, I may Kolaghan's Command. That leaves me no other options of anything to do in this turn. I could Abrupt Decay. I could Abrupt Decay now. Abrupt Decay now isn't terrible. Gets that counter on the Mana-Gorger Hydra. Ooh, opponent let me go to draw step without an upkeep. That's an... There we go. Okay. Should not have done that after draw step. Okay, so the question is, do I want to Kolaghan's Command anything? Yeah, I think I'm okay with that since I know what my draw is. It's not anything useful. I think I deal 2 damage, make him discard, and deal 2 damage to the Man-O-War. Gorger Hydra gets bigger. Now when I blow up the world, if I blow up the world, Whisperwood is not getting as much value. Kolaghan's Command, clean 2 for 1. Always like that card quite a bit. And opponent tosses a Master of Waves. Makes sense. Opponent had 0 devotion to blue, although the Master of Waves itself provides at least 1. Now I have a 5/5. Do I want to trade my Hydra for Whisperwood Elemental and a Manifest? I think I would be open for that trade. I could wind up hitting something nasty off of the Manifest. But if I'll take 8 on the Crackback, that's not very good. Might want to do it next turn. I'm losing that race badly. Opponent will probably just take it. Here, opponent cannot attack into me. Our life total stay stagnant. If I can survive another turn without any major changes in power on the board, I can start putting fate counters on things. Things being the Mana-Gorger Hydra that I have. 2 mana off of Terastodon, so I don't mind drawing lands right now. Fauna Shaman does not worry me. If I get white mana, I might attack with Mana-Gorger Hydra and hope I get a double block, but opponent probably isn't gonna double block. Probably just gonna sit there and take it. Okay. Ooh, Beast Within. That's good. I like that. Unfortunately, I can't do that and Oblivion Stone, so I think I'm once more going to pass the turn. Get a little scared if opponent attacks with all three of his manifests. Glenalendra. Well, that's gross. That may force me to crack the Oblivion Stone without... Well, it gets the Persist. That's an interesting question. I'm gonna pause for a second. I've got a phone call coming in, and I apologize. And I'm back, everybody. Sorry about that. That was a phone call from my wife. Opponent gets 3 2/2s. Well, they're not manifesting them this turn, so... Or they're not flipping them up. I'm happy if they want to trade every single thing they have and the Glenalendra. So I will get in there. I guess I'm just trading even money, but my Managorger Hydra is still getting bigger. Those likely are not all creatures. We'll see how this goes. 5, 6, 7. If opponent doesn't tap down my land during my upkeep... Oh, well, there goes basically the whole game. At least I can I can Beast Within that opposition during my upkeep. No, I can't because of Glenalendra. I really hate Glenalendra, and I hate opposition. I don't hate Glenalendra. Glenalendra is fair. You can find ways of dealing with that. Opposition, not so much. Of course, if I had it, I would be happy to play it. I would probably not be terribly proud. Why don't you attack with Glenalendra there? It's not doing anything on defense against a trample. I guess it's close enough that I can cast 2 spells. Oh, no, sorry. They're using it, of course, for opposition purposes. I'm probably just going to tap the Managorger Hydra. Which means I should... I should what? I should... Well, I've got the mana, so I probably should just use it right now. Opponent's going to tap my Hydra now. That's unfortunate. Good. Left a blue. Yeah, I don't think there's any way I could deal with that. Yep. Okay. Stagger Shock. That could be really useful. Okay, nothing to do now. Nothing to do this turn either. Spending mana to turn Hissing Quagmire into a man land is probably not a good idea. That throws a bunch of mana into one resource, which then just gets tapped down by opponent. Kind of interesting. Opponent isn't in a huge spot, so probably one of these is actually a creature who's going to flip up. The other one is going to save to tap down my Managorger Hydra. That's weird. Why would you tap that now? I have no idea, unless you think you just have me dead, unless I... Oh, okay. Alright, we've got a 3/3 probably. Yeah. Alright, Right, you're gonna... One of them is gonna tap down my red source, I assume. I think my opponent just did that wrong and tapped down their own targeting beast token. Opponent says, oops, we've all been there. We've all been there. I don't think it's gonna matter. You still got another creature. That's why you leave yourself 2 of these creatures. You have to oh, opponent is not... Oh, that's interesting. Okay. It still leaves us with this problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that's 8 mana for Terastodon. Alright, do I die if I don't do this? Let me think a bit here. Opponent is gonna... Excuse me a sec. Alright, said Wolfhound needed to be left outside, so I can't Anguish Unmaking. So one option is Stagger Shock this turn and nothing next turn. I can Terastodon, Terastodon would blow up opposition Garruk and one of my lands. My Managorger Hydra would be tapped. Or maybe my no, it's dead. So Terastodon is good. Opponent definitely screwed that up because that's actually going to make a difference. So opponent's going to have to use opposition tapped on the Managorger Hydra, or they're really close to dead. I guess they could go to 1. Okay, we're going to destroy that. We're going to destroy Garruk. I'm going to destroy one of our own lands. So we have as many, or nearly as many creatures as opponent. Opponent is now going to tap down. Yep. Well, the problem is opponent has more stuff than we do. Our Managorger Hydra gets quadruple block to kill it. Yeah, it'd have to be quintuple. It'd probably just throw everything in front of it. Maybe hold up. Oh, E-Witness. E-Witness bringing back opposition. Okay. Okay. Alright. Alright. Plan now is to draw a white source. But we may just be dead to tapping down our mana on one turn and then tapping down our creatures on the next. Oh, Mana War. Mana War. Not opposition, huh? That's interesting. That probably leaves us in it a lot more than just grabbing opposition would have. And not bouncing my 13/13. Oh, am I just dead here? Yeah, I'm just dead, that's why. Okay, never mind. That works. GG's, opponent. GG's. Alright, see you next match.